just wondered whether the NDC economic management team is aware of the new economy that their general secretary is spouting. Asiedun Ketia is telling the world that it's the MPP who are teaming up with retailers of cement to sell cement at 250,000 old cities, 25 cities. That is the excuse he is giving out there, that it's the MPP who are teaming up with cement retailers to sell beyond it. Then he goes on to say that the MPP has collateralized Ghana's oil in order to take money to campaign. I mean, Baumia couldn't have put it better. You can't run an economy and a country on propaganda. Be that as it may, tonight, our interest is the Western region. Tricky swing region. Maybe we are not paying too much attention, but maybe that's where we ought to be looking. What are the demographics? What is happening? There's just been registration. Any significant details? Maybe there may even be something we'll share with you, a bombshell of sorts. But before we go there, Wyoming is on everybody's mind. Arrested, freed, arrested. What is happening? Are the government serious about this? Tonight with me, Nana Uzu Ankama on the far side is the regional chairman of the party. That's the Western region. And next to him, to my immediate left, Mamie Fuakoto, who is a member of the MPP communications team. You're both very welcome to Minority Caucus.
Thanks.
Nana, Wyoming, in, out, in. What is happening?
Thanks, good evening to all viewers, especially my viewers from the Western region. I would like to say hello to my people out there at Wasa, Sifi, and Brosa area. Wyoming, he's the man who's actually changed the life of the NDC, so far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
I got to a staging point. The people of Ghana were made to believe that we've had the most incorruptible and most straightforward government you can ever have. But just about the time that the year was about to end last year, Wyoming appeared. That was when we realized that we had a president who never knew what was going on around him. He came up to say that the Yoko report is saying that the president tried to stop the payment twice, but the payment still went on. So as we speak now, what action has been taken? We are being made to even believe that the president acted pretty well and good, but his action came after a year and a half after the NPP led by Kennedy Japan had raised this issue. As we speak now, the main actors in this whole thing, Dufour, Betty Modi, and Dusu, are walking around on skirts. I mean, even the latest development, I think it is only Wyoming who is, as I speak, being charged. The other public officers I know are off the hook. Now let's look at this charge of causing financial loss to the state. How can Wyoming be causing a financial loss? He's not a public officer. He rather defrauded the state. Under false pretenses, under lies, he was able to take so much money from the government purse. But we are being made to believe that he caused financial loss. I believe that what is going to happen finally is that Wyoming would stand up to the charge of causing financial loss and he will be acquitted.
That would be a disaster for the country. Do you believe the same?
Well,
to get away with this?
Well, good evening to our viewers. Wyoming getting away with this. Let's look at the situation and the case standing. Mills, the man Mills, President Mills. He's always, Nana said something that we are made to believe we've got the best president so far. No, those who believed it goofed. Because if you know the man Mills as a vice president, he led the nation into HIPIC with this same team he's working with. What did he do? We were in this country when Miss Cotton, this same President Mills, then a vice president, teamed up with certain people and led the nation into paying so much an amount of money to a foreigner. The lady just left without money, and then today the Caucus administration came, meeting the coffers empty. This same President Mills, as a lecturer in Legon, got himself, he's always in the helm of all the negative things, yet I don't know what happened that Ghanaians tend to believe the kind of picture the NDC painted about President Mills. He, as a lecturer, took, he was so happy taking a government plot, which today, a case whereby a case in court that has been ruled that Jake is supposed to, Jake has no issue. He did not abuse his office and other stuff. The same President Mills, who is always seen in the helm of all the negative stuff, is telling the nation that he's not going to go by the court rulings. Yet he was in the helm of all the negatives that took place under his regime as a vice and then a lecturer. Let's come to the Wyoming issue. The president, we are now being told by Martin Amidu that the president lied to the nation. This is a man who swore an oath to protect and defend the nation, no matter what. So if the president came out, Martin Amidu dared the NDC administration that if they dare him, he would come out and tell the nation even more. He told us that he addressed the president before the president gave the impression he knew nothing about this whole saga. What does that tell you? He is not ready to fight corruption. He's not ready to go into this issue. He just gave the impression, or with this whole EOCO report and they getting into this issue and where we are today, is just a way to buy time. I believe the Mills administration and the president himself sat in the comfort of their cabinet meeting and really agreed to dupe the nation this amount of money we are talking about. Why do I say this? If one, you lied to the nation, meaning you are not ready to go into it. That is what Martin Amidu is telling the nation. Two, if the president really wants to go into this issue, Martin Amidu, who decided to pick this issue and deal with it, has been asked to step aside. This is a president who Koko Anyido has given us the impression that he got upset just because the nation went on, we've been experiencing total blackout here and there.
That was
he
very
could get
embarrassing.
upset. My brother, it was very embarrassing. He could get upset, but a president who sworn an oath could not get upset when the nation has lost so much money. He could not get upset over that Wyoming saga. Then what kind of president are we talking about? If he could just get upset and sack someone within a twinkle of an eye, and Betty Modidrisu in her, Betty resigned herself. She just, look at the length of time that it took Betty to step aside. As we speak, the finance minister is still on post. Those who, to us, or in the sight of, from Wyoming's interviews and the kind of documents that are in the public domain, you can see that this thing goes beyond just Wyoming. But here today, we are being told, with a fresh case, fresh suit, we are being told he's being charged for causing financial loss to the state. With who? As in what capacity? I'm speaking from a layman's point of view. We know it takes somebody in authority to, from a layman's point of view, you are a lawyer, so you can correct me.
I'm the host, just the host of Minority Caucus.
But we know that causing financial loss to the state, it needs somebody in authority. Who are those?
Probably they may be looking at leading evidence to bring those other people in.
Probably. But the point is, if you take Wyoming, then they should
bring the people up forward and charge
they should charge them all. They should bring, because this payment was done in 2009. We are in 2012, and for a finance minister to go into, a budget beyond his limit, he needs a higher body or a higher authority to issue that command. Who who was that higher authority? Who gave that approval? The government, the man, Professor Mills, or the so-called God-fearing man, the NDC tout him to be. He is not.
Very well. So you doubt whether or not the government is serious about prosecuting this matter? This is the Minority Caucus, and tonight our main purpose is to review what is going on in the Western region, where we believe this election could turn, surprisingly, probably. Nana, you run that region for the MPP.
Very well.
Give us a little background. What are the demographics like?
Very well.
Of course, the census report is not fully out. But
yes. But I would like to call the Western region the United States of Ghana.
The United States of Ghana?
Very well. What I'm saying is that because of the UN, what I'm saying is that because of the way Western region is, it has attracted so many inhabitants from other areas, right? If you take the Western region politically, we have 8 constituencies which has coastlines, that's beaches for fishing. This has brought in people from the central region, Fantis. This has brought in West. This has brought in Gas who do fishing. And you know that fishing is such that they have something to do with the moon, so they keep on moving around. So that's for the coastline of the Western region. Then due to the gold find, we have about 13 constituencies which double in gold.
13 constituencies in gold.
So we have so many people who come there to work in the mines. We have so many people who come there to do galamsey. We have so many people who come there to trade in gold. So that area also has so many non-indigenous of a region. Okay. Then we go to the northern part of the Western region, where the mainstay is the cocoa industry. That is where we have the itinerant farmers, we have farmers, we have people coming in to farm. So that's where we have mostly the Northerners coming in, the Kusasis, the Dagaris, and all those. So when you come to Western region, we have a motley lot. And all these people, to an extent, always affect the voting pattern of a region. I didn't even talk about the metro part of a region, that is the southern part of a region, that's the Genita Kradi, the regional capital area. Yeah. That also, because of the harbor, has also attracted so many people, because some time back there were so many industries feeding on the harbor. Yeah. That area has become cosmopolitan, and there are also so many people from different
diverse backgrounds. The first time it really made me understand that region.
Very well.
You know?
That is what the region
United
is like.
States of Ghana.
That is it. I mean, when you come to the Western region, you find every Ghanaian indigenous there, you find every kind of tradesman there. That is what it is. And this thing goes on and on to determine the voting pattern. When you come to the Sekenita Kwadi area, they've always been voting for the NPP. This is mainly because there's the feeling that it was an NDC government which really came to actually
destroy the industries and
destroy the marine trade. You know, when they came, they sold all our ships. You know, Black Star Line used to be hot, but when they came in, they sold all the ships. And when all the Black Star Line ships stopped calling at the Takoradi Harbor, business and general activity in and around Sekeni Takoradi died off. Then the railways, they also came and they didn't do no good to the railways. So to a very large extent, the railways and the harbor, which was the hub, the real action in that part of the region, that's Sekeni Takoradi and its environs, just died off. Another thing which was also booming that area was the timber industry. The timber industry, as I speak now, is also dead. So, and you know, the timber industry suffered its greater demise during the twilight of the Rawlins era. So, as we speak now, Sekeni Takoradi and its environs, that's if you're Simintim, Sekendi, Shama, Eskado Katan, Hunter West, they are all for MPP. They don't want to vote for the MPP. Then we go to the Enzima area. You know, Enzima, due to Kwame Nkrumah, had that influence. But what actually happened was that, you know, we always have the umbrella with the chicken right perching on top. under the pretext of being in Nkrumah, they were able to sway the Nzimas. You know, we used to, Freddie Blay was for the CPP, but to a very large extent was inclined towards the MPP. In the last election, he lost to the NDC. So as we speak now, in Nzima area, we have 3 constituencies. CPP has 1, NDC has 1, MPP has 1.
Well, that's a fair split.
Very well. That's very well. But I believe that in 2012 we need to get more. You know, as we're speaking now, Nzima is a real center of action. That is the hub of the oil and gas. That is where all the action of West Africa or Africa for that matter is going to be. So Nzima is pretty hot. Then from there we go to the Fiase and Amenfi area. Wasa Fiase, Wasa Amenfi area. That consists of about 6 constituencies. That area has mainly been for the NDC. MPP will have like 2 seats. We used to have in 2008 we had 2 seats at the Fiase area. We had what's it called, 1 at the Amenfi area, so it was 3-3. Now it has really turned. The NDC has 4, we have 2. Then when you go to the Sefi area, we have 5 constituencies. As we speak, we have only 1 now, that's Bibiani.
Yeah.
Then we have the 2 Bosa constituencies, Awin and Swaman. That is also for the NDC. But politically, the region, as I speak now, has been split in 2. That is from Takwa, Nzima to Shama. That is 11 constituencies. The MPP has 8, NDC has 2, CPP has 1. That's Samia's seat at Jomoro. Then the upper part, from Pristia to Bia, that's 11 seats. 11 seats, the NDC has 9, and the MPP has 2. But it will interest you to know that when the NDC is talking about 6 best constituencies in the country, 2 comes from the Western region, Joaboso and Bia.
Yes.
And if you look at the current registration figures from Pristia to Bia, which belongs to the NDC in terms of the 2008 election results, they are much more than the southern part, which belongs to MPP, if I should say so, by anything a bit above 40,000. So you come to realize that if we really want to make a mark in the Western region for a presidential candidate, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, then it means from Pristia up there, we need to really do it well. And
so what we hear you saying is that the constituencies are almost evenly split.
To a very large extent, yes.
Almost evenly.
Yeah,
however,
but when it comes
in terms
to
of the numbers,
in terms
for
of
the one
figures,
constituency for the presidency,
yeah,
they may be gaining numbers on the other side.
Yes, because their area has actually registered more than ours. But you see, certain things, to an extent, are rather making it difficult for the NDC. One main thing is infrastructure development. When it comes to roads, I believe we need to let me come back and really discuss the infrastructure development of the NDC vis-a-vis MPP.
I think we did better than them.
Yeah, we did. That is a problem.
And now, I believe that now, because of that,
most of the projects that we did that were supposed to continue, they can't do it. A road like Asankegwa to NJ, they can't get anywhere, still halfway through. We started this concept of cocoa roads. There are so many cocoa roads we started. Instead of them to continue, they didn't. What they are doing is that they are hardly doing other cocoa roads. Is not going to help. The road from what's it called, Asankegwa to NG hasn't been done completely, but they've decided to just do it wish-wash and are trying to work on NG to Dadiesu to Juabuso. What I'm trying to say is that the plan the MPP had was that, okay, let's take Yoso to Benchama. When we get to Benchama, we'll continue Benchama to Osekojo, but they are not doing it that way. But I think with regards to the road, we need to come another time and talk about it. So that is not really helping them. The second thing which is working against them as we speak is the cocoa industry. Before we came to power in 2001, we were getting like 320 metric tons of 320,000 metric tons of cocoa every year.
That's right.
I mean, when we were exiting, we were getting about 1 million tons. And we were paying very good prices for the cocoa. Before the coming of President Kufuor, it made sense selling your cocoa to Cote d'Ivoire because Cote d'Ivoire was paying a higher price. But when we came, we were selling APA, so it was commercially nonsense. Bring your cocoa from Cote d'Ivoire into town to sell. So every cocoa produced in Ghana was sold in Ghana, and all that we did, fertilizer for instance, was discounted. We're selling a bag of 50 kilo fertilizer for just about, I think, 147,000. Talking about 14,007 Ghana. Now it's not this. It's not. Now it's about 35 Ghana, 350,000.
The bombshell I have for you is that maybe the cocoa growing areas is going to be Achilles heel, and that intelligence has it. Probably about 250,000 people have been infiltrated in there as part of the registration. I'll take my second break. When I come back, I'll find out what really is happening with the registration in the region. Yes, at this point we'll take our second break. But interestingly, a United States of Ghana in the Western region. This is the very first time I have understood the concept. Fantastic. Mami, you know, intelligence has it that the Western region is suffering from a glut of voter register. 250,000 extra infiltrated into the cocoa growing areas along the border lines.
I'm not surprised, and I mean, I'll be surprised if you tell me you are surprised. You know, after the 2008 elections, if you meet a gathering, maybe 12 people, and you go like, who are those who voted for the current president? They'll go like, nobody knows who voted for him. Ghanaians really know the man Mills. They know we were so aware he can't deliver. So many of the Ghanaians, the real Ghanaians who are in this situation and are going through the hardship and went through the hardship under President, then Vice President Mills, were not ready to give him the mandate to become a president. But this is typical of the NDC. They always want to manipulate and have foreigners come into the system and mess up our electoral process. My brother, we had certain things happening in the Togo borders to the extent that some of our policemen were caught. Crossing borders to make certain things. Some allegations I wouldn't want to go into. And we are hearing same at the Bro and Hafo borders thereabouts. This is typical of the NDC. But I will urge every Ghanaian that we don't have to just sit back because we finished with biometric. We just don't have to sit back because we are doing biometric with verification. We really have to. Martin Amidu says we should stand up and be counted. If you really love your nation, if you really want, look, the taxpayers paying so much and government sitting in the comfort of his castle and Wyomizing the nation, CP-mizing the nation, is pathetic. Look, my brother, when the nation had total blackouts, a lot of fresh babies in our major hospitals, in incubators, lost their lives. A lot of mothers, a lot of people lost their lives. The president did not get upset. And this is because, you know why he never gets upset when serious issues concerning the nations hits us? Because he knows so much well that the Ghanaian people did not vote for him. So he cares less about what happens to us. This is the kind of leader we have. And we don't have to sit down for foreigners to enter into our electoral system and choose a leader for us. We should really stand up and be counted.
Now you're on the ground. Can that intelligence be credited?
To an extent, I think if you look at the projection of the EC itself in the Western region, we were supposed to have, I think, about 1,100,000. But now I think the provincial figures are a little bit about 1,400,000. But
the projection was 1,100,000.
Yeah.
You are now hovering around 1,400,000. Okay.
What all that I will say to this is that yes, people can come in to register, but I don't think it will be too easy for people to come in to vote. That is one. No, I'm not doubting. I'm not doubting that people have got, but it wouldn't be too easy. But whatever it is, we are working with that figure.
That's right.
To really move ahead in all the border areas, and especially those constituencies which border with the Cote d'Ivoire in the Western region. You have 5 constituencies like that. We have Bia, Joaboso, Wyoming, Jomoro, and Swaman. All these constituencies, the polling stations executives have started an exercise. They are doing their best to try to know those who are resident and domiciled there. And I believe whatever will happen is going to be after that. You know, you dropped this hint some time back. So we started working on it.
Yeah.
But all that I want to really say to all listeners, especially MPP supporters, that we are going to deal with this kind of situation. There is also this issue of artificial boundaries by our colonial masters. When you go along the borders, we have the Ayins. We have Ayins in Ghana, we have Ayins in Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah.
We have Nzemes in Ghana, we have Nzemes in Cote d'Ivoire. We have Safis in Ghana, we have Safis in Cote. These are related. What we want to do now is that we need to take the message to them. You see, this cross-border trade is so simple.
Yeah.
If it's good in Ghana, across the border they know it's good. And if it's good in Ghana, they can feel it. As we speak now, you've seen those, these people who normally sell clothes. I think these Toto young men, what are they? Are they Nigerians or whatever?
Most of them are.
They are all complaining. They are all complaining and our business is bad.
Nobody's buying.
Very well. You see, and the cocoa industry has now gone so bad that all these along the borders are suffering. Especially those just across the border. You know, it is cheaper crossing into Ghana and bringing your cocoa to sell if all the Ghanaian price is good. Right? And they all feel the heat. They all come to Ghana to trade and they all feel the heat. If you take Elibo, for instance, in Elibo we have 17 polling stations.
Elibo town.
Yeah, Elibo area, I'll say Elibo zone, just close to. And these 17 polling stations, the numbers doubled as compared to the figures in 2008.
Wow.
But it will interest you to know that in 2008, the second round turnout was not even up to 55%. And that was the time NDC needed the votes. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So they didn't come into vote.
Yes, so it gets
So
a
you can have
staging
the names
point.
for
Yeah,
but you can't have the songs at the right
it gets
time.
a
No, the
staging
first time
point.
they came.
Yeah,
The second
the
one, they
even
did not
what I'm trying to say is that even the second time when
Very
they needed
true.
it
Yeah.
more, because at that time, I mean, there was this time even 10 votes could make a difference. That thing could not
They
happen.
did not come.
Even Abia, the turnout at that time wasn't so much. What that I'm trying to say is that we will also find wins. There are so many wins we use, we can't say it on air.
That is very
But in
reassuring.
cloistered party meetings,
That's very
we are
reassuring.
not going to sit down because we are of the threat.
Wonderful.
You see, and I am telling you, what is even the Enzima area very critical as I speak is that there is no plan for the Enzima area so far as oil and gas is concerned. I am telling you,
There's no national plan.
all the jobs coming there, the indigenous of Enzima are not benefiting. There's supposed to be a local content law who's supposed to be passed by government. It's not being done. It is not being done because almost all the cocoa, almost all the oil servicing companies have their owners in government. They are hiding behind Nigerians and white boys and all that. So at the end of the day, they don't want to pass them. It will interest you to know that, I mean, cleaning contracts and whatever are not even going to Ghanaian companies. We have white companies who are doing simple things like catering and all that. The bulk of the contracts on the rig is going to white. What I'm trying to say is that even in the TT stage of this oil production, I mean,
Ghanaians are being left out.
Yes, and when I say Ghanaians, that is too wide. Even then,
The local.
I mean, when there's any oil spill or whatever, is the water revenue is going to suffer. What do they have in place? Right? There's nothing in place. The best thing that you have in place is oil. And at the end of the day, the oil is just paying money to NDC boys for doing nothing. So what Nanado is telling Nzemes is that the oil is for you, the gas is around you. Make sure that when you come, you benefit. He has outlined a program whereby the Nzemes are going to undergo technical training and take advantage of the gas and oil which happens to be in the area. Recently, look at what happened. When it even came to the sighting of the gas industry, it became a problem.
Yeah.
Because certain members of the NDC in government had gone to certain areas, taken some largesse, gone to buy big tracts of land somewhere and sold it out to investors, so that when the business comes to where they've bought the land,
then they'll make money.
At the end of the day, where they wanted to site the project is a water-soaked area, so they had to send it back to original place. This was after the MPP had contracted people to come and do all the necessary soil tests and whatever.
And they had determined the location.
Very well.
Programmed the project.
And you see, and what really hurts me is that where the MPP wanted to place the project was the most cost-effective place to place the project. And even there, all the other areas will benefit. If we take a place like Elembele, for instance, where they wanted to take the gas project because some people thought they were closer to government and they heard from Elembele and wanted to make some money out of Elembele land, right? We have a serious gold mining concern going on. Adamos, they are doing very well, employing people around, and so Elembele also has its field. So if this gas goes to Jomoro, then those in Jomoro will also benefit, and the whole of Nzima will benefit, and even where I hail from, Mahanta will also benefit. But you know what is kind of thing? Self-serving thing. Let's take it right.
So it has ended up going back to Otuabo.
Yeah, it's going back to
because it's the most suitable place technically, and
why even they wanted to even do the project. It is a flood-prone area.
It can't be.
Yeah.
So Nana promises transformation.
Yeah, no, Nana has promised so much for the Nzimas. He has promised so much for the Nzimas.
Do you know why the NDC keeps deceiving and lying to the Ghanaian that Nana's free education wouldn't be possible? They have realized majority of our people lack the basic education. They have realized they can only dupe the nation when the people do not know so much to be part of these kind of trades and jobs. Look, today in our own country, after 54 years, we sit in our country and the NDC administration believes Guma can deliver just 500
houses.
My brother, this is a government that has borrowed so much. This is a government that has been in power for the past 19 years. The man in the helm of affairs has been a vice president. He does not believe in his own, because they do not want the ordinary person out there to know what he should know and understand to contribute his quota. They always want to manipulate the people. This is all the NDC governments believe in. Divide and rule, use the people and dupe them. If Ghanaians really believe it is time for us to carry or hold our flags high, then we should believe the only way is through free education. The only way. Look, if you understand the basic things, just as he said the people in Zima are not getting the opportunity to be part of this oil boom that the NDC is drinking. President Mills in Castle is enjoying the oil boom like nobody's business. Go to the castle and see what they are doing with the oil money. Go into their accounts and see what they are doing. These are the looters of our nation. Look, my brother, this CP and Wyoming issue is nothing Ghanaians should play ball with. This is a government that really do not want the people, that really do not want well for his people. Look, this, I mean, any well-meaning Ghanaian or any man with good intentions for his nation would jump for free education, would be glad to even have a vision or get a leader who wants to really develop the Zongo areas or the undeveloped areas, have a budget or some consideration into such, when you term it as the Zongo project, people really, it gels better. You understand? They do not believe in all these things. Why? Because they really do not want their people to be educated and fight for themselves.
The NDC does not believe in transforming the circumstances of the people. That is the message we are getting tonight. So you have a party
deliver the
led by
region
Nado, who will definitely
the region itself has delivered itself.
Let me call in our lines. I just wanted it from you.
Yes.
So
the
we'll
region
get
has
back to
delivered
the
itself.
region has delivered itself.
The NDC hasn't done anything for the region.
Okay.
As we speak now, they are making so much noise about rural electrification. The rural electrification is a baby of the ex-Wa Kufu administration.
Okay.
We had it from a $350 million US dollar grant, a US dollar Exim Bank loan.
Yeah.
Almost all the transformers and whatever had already been procured before we left power. In as early as the end of the first quarter of 2009, they started electrification. How could they have started it if they did what they had to do? You know, the main road from Takoradi to Takwa was a baby of the MPP administration.
Yeah.
We were supposed to continue the Takwa right down to Kumasi. We had an EU loan, and the counterpart fund, everything was ready. All that was left was a procurement. They've come and up till now.
You haven't been able to procure.
That's the point.
Well, you can join us 0302 211 701 up to 704. 0302 211 701 702 703 704. Join us with your thoughts on the registration, your region, on what you've heard about the Western region, on other matters that have come up in your mind this week, including the Wyoming in-out in saga. So, Nana, you believe that as far as the Western, I already have Inusa on the line. Hello? Inusa?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Bibi. Yeah, thank you very much, Chama. You've done well. And my sister there too. That's what we want. That time we want to see the regional executives being in the caucus, minority caucus, to tell us what is happening in the other regions. Yeah. To the issue of this Wyoming. In fact, sometimes when you sit and look at NDC governments, you don't know how to describe them. These are the people who gave this man a charge, but just yesterday that charge was dropped. That the state is not interested in that case, but being slapped with another charge. This causing financial loss to the state or whatever they think they slapped this man with. You see, what I believe is that NDC, they are trying to pull this thing to the end of the election, because already they know they've lost the election. So they want to pull it till MPP take the affairs of the states, so that when MPP start putting them in Sawam, because that is what their founder said, that they are going to renovate in Sawam and rather put the MPP, but rather the thing is turning back to hit them, because this gargantua money that they use and give to one person. I believe this money, when they are even going to change it into the 50 Ghana cedis note, 250 long vehicles articulated will be full. Imagine if they are going to give each region 20 these long vehicles, this money. How do you think this money will turn the region to, or the whole country to? Talking of this education.
Thank you, Inusa. Let me take Sadat from Kumasi.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I want to congratulate you and your panelists for the good work done so far.
Thank you.
I want to contribute particularly on the Wyoming scandal. If President Mills is so bold enough to say that they are revocating the land sold to Jake, he should do same on the Wyoming scandal. They should the so-called cabinet should pass a resolution that they should take that 51 million from Wyoming, because many Ghanaians are suffering and only a few NDC people are enjoying the booty of government cafes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Kwame?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, thank you for the program and thanks for Minority Caucus. Like we have seen in NDC, they have failed Ghanaians, and Ghanaians are now wise enough to vote for better man. Now that they are propaganding, machine has failed them. They don't know what to say, what to tell Ghanaians. Now that things are going up and every day they can't control the economy, economy is getting worse and worse and worse. Now that people have remembered, they left another government, and the government that came in cannot do anything for them. Let us take fertilizer as we are using in Ghana. When MPP administration was leaving power, fertilizer alone is what we are using to produce more cocoa in Ghana. Right now, it's only few people who can get fertilizer. How do you get fertilizer, or how do you procure fertilizer? Unless you are a Caucus member. How do they call their Caucus members? Unless you are from the people that they think you are NDC. Else you won't get fertilizer. Now people are dying from hunger. Now the dollar rate, you can't even chase it. Go to the market. If you are going today, take 10 million. Then unless you take additional 2 million before the list that you have made, you can buy them. What is the country that we are living in today? We are going back to the 80s and the early 90s, of which Ghanaians we are wise enough to vote for the man that can do Ghana better. So, I won't waste my time. Let people also contribute. But we are willing to vote for Nana Abedankwa for a better Ghana. We are going to continue the Kufuor's better Ghana agenda. Then the Ghana that Kufuor left, we are going to continue. We won't leave Ghana like this. And the free secondary education, if they are afraid, we are going to bring it in reality. We are going to see that free secondary education will be real. As they said, health insurance cannot be real. This thing too, they are saying it cannot be real. It's going to be real. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kwame. Raman.
Good evening, Bobby.
Yes, sir, Raman.
My sincere thanks to all NPP communication team for a wonderful work done through this season, because we are putting NDC on their toes. Without NPP communication team, I believe Ghana would have been in a total mess, even though we are in a mess. By NPP communication team, we are putting the government on the toes to at least put certain things. It's not only Western region who has eliminated or taken themselves away. The whole country. This evening, I went to the market to buy NPP diesel. NPP paraphernalia from a Zambrama man. I come round, I didn't get, but I saw a lot of them. I saw NDC. A lot. Then I asked them, why are you not coming with NDC own? And they said the people of this country are no more patronizing NDC one. They are only buying NDC one. That really shows that the NDC people are fed up of the party, because Professor Mills and his people are wolves and are sheepskins. They pretend as if they like Ghana, they love Ghana. Meanwhile, they are sucking our blood. And come December, I believe Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, the next president of this country, will come and save us from this mess. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's interesting, eh? There's NDC propaganda, paraphernalia is not profitable, but nobody's buying.
Yeah, paraphernalia. That's true.
Now, you have the honor of the last word, since your region is the one being projected tonight. So let me give Mami 1 minute.
Well, I would just urge all Ghanaians to know that if you talk of one who is God-fearing, it's the one who really wants the best for you, the one who will tell you the truth no matter how hard it is. Yeah. We shouldn't look at a weak leader as one who is a God-fearing one. We shouldn't look at a timid spirit as one that is God-fearing. Our Lord is not the type that is timid. Our Lord is not the Lord that is not a God that lies. Our God is not a weak God. We need a leader. We are talking about leadership. We need a man who would really run the affairs of this nation. To be very honest with you, I disagree with those who are saying Koko Anyido did not speak for
the president.
Koko Anyido spoke for the president. No. Koko Anyido came out to tell us that he was sitting with some leaders. And those are the leaders who are really running the affairs of our nation. Yeah. We don't have a leader today. And Koko Anyidoho has really proven this. Former President Rawlings told us that I wouldn't how me. We took it as a joke. But today, this act by Koko Anyidoho has really come to confirm what former President Rawlings said. And we really shouldn't go stand on this hot sun and vote for this weak leadership or this timid leader again. Let us change and change for the better. A leader who is ready to help those who do not have any education to understand what it is to read and write, to understand what it is to understand issues that really would bring bread and butter, put money into your pocket. That is the leadership you should look out for. And that is the NPP, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Bawumia. Vote for the NPP and no other party.
Thank you very much. I think she said it all.
Well, yes, she said it all. But I would like to talk to my people in Sefi, Brosa, and Wassa. They've been voting for the NDC for the past 20 years. But when it comes to the development, they have nothing to show. When it comes to road infrastructure, zibble. When it comes to health delivery systems, nothing. When it comes to education, nothing. They should change and vote for Nana Addo Dankwa this time. And I believe when they vote for Nana Addo Dankwa this time, what they never saw, they will see. When President Kufuor was around, they saw changes. The best road in the northern part of the western region was constructed by the Kufuor administration under the auspices of Dr. Kuku Afriye, as I speak now, who is the parliamentary candidate for the NDC, for the MPP in the Sefi Yoso constituency.
Thank you very much.
So I believe that Sefi should turn.
And thank you very much. We thank all those who texted, who called in, but above all, we thank Nana for the education about the Western region. This time you are going to swing it in Nanado's favor, resoundingly so. And Mame, thank you very much.
By the grace of God.
That's very rousing. Of course, by the grace of God. We're not talking about a sheep, a wolf in sheep's clothing.
No.
We're not talking about somebody who pretends to be holier than the Pope. And then others do the dirty work.
It's going to come through us.